You may have seen this type of meme before. The whole world laughed at them, and they became viral in the beginning of the pandemic. This presents a time before COVID. The personal space is wide. You can almost touch it. That's how thick it is. Are Swedes cold at the climate? Well, that's how we may be perceived by others. We would rather wait for the next elevator than ride with an unknown person, and sit alone as far away from each other on an almost empty bus. We don't dislike our neighbors, we just avoid them. And yeah, some of us do have a hard time striking up a conversation. Swedish people take pride in the individualistic culture that emphasizes that people should be able to accomplish goals and solve problems independently without to have rely on others. We live by the rule, ensam är stark. Stronger alone. Sweden topped the list of the loneliest country, where 78% of all young adults in Sweden experience loneliness. If you take a look at the total population, it's 60%. Globally, loneliness is more frequently reported in societies as centers around the individual rather than the group. We all know that loneliness affects our well-being. We heard it all before. We have studies comparing loneliness to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. And yet, we Swedes still believe in distance. The culture we cherish pushes us away from each other, despite the fact that we are social creatures that thrive when we have high-quality connections with others. This is confirmed by the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where our most basic needs are the physiological needs: food, sleep, temperature control. The second need is safety, and the third one is the social needs: love, belonging, friendship, authentic connections. If we don't have these basic needs covered, we cannot reach happiness. And as a person with an entrepreneurial mindset, I see great opportunity how technology can and should help us solve this problem of loneliness. And we have all these social media platforms, right? Where millions of people can connect every day and share their lives, whether it's pictures or short videos. It's a great way to interact, connect, and stay connected. But most of us are passive spectators, looking at other people's life through a never-ending feed, showing unrealistic portrayals that may give people the false impression that others are living happier and more connected lives. Studies in the US shows that increased social media usage is associated with increased perceived social isolation among young adults. So this tool we have for connecting with people doesn't necessarily help us solve this issue of loneliness. For real-life connections, we've been using dating sites and dating apps since 1994. There are over 8,000 dating sites and 1,500 apps for finding love or hookups. Yet, even if we have all these platforms for this, they have not reversed the trends of loneliness. When it comes to friendship platforms, it's tricky to find any numbers. Most of them are built on digital meetings, sharing posts, quizzes, polls, and the great value of connecting with like-minded people digitally, globally. But few of them are actually made for finding people in your local area. So this leaves us with plenty of situations when you experience involuntary loneliness. Situations like you've grown apart from your current friends. Your friends are in a relationship and you are the only one single. You move to a new city and don't know anyone. You find new hobbies and interests and have no one to share them with. You have invested in family and work. Now you're retired and have not maintained your friendships. You get divorced and previous social constellations are not optimal. You crave for friendship beyond your romantic partner, or you just belongs to these 60%, the Swedish statistics of loneliness. Undoubtedly, there is a significant gap in the market that social media can't cover. And dating apps, they aren't built for the purpose of making friends. On top of this, women also encounter other hurdles when it comes to social apps out there. To be perceived as being available for something other than friendship. For instance, my own experience on social apps is that 90% of the members reaching out to me were male, with a non-platonic intention, despite the fact that I have specified that I only wanted to meet female friends. It was an unpleasant experience, and I never gave it a second try. Men and women experience things differently on social platforms. Women are more likely to handle unwelcome situations and approaches, something that is exclusively for us. The need of a safe space for women is palpable. While the gender ratio is changing in the tech industry, it's still a male-dominated field, where 92% of all developers worldwide are male. So in this male-dominated industry, is it possible that women's needs are being overlooked? Ultimately, this affects what kind of products that comes on the market, and it's obviously a gap in solutions that supports women's needs. So why sit around and wait for things to happen? That's when my journey in tech started. I met my co-founder Ulrika when we were both looking for women drawn to entrepreneurship. Out of our first friendship date, we had instant connection. And without knowing each other, we both started questioning, how do you make friends today? And that there must be an easy way to find like-minded people in your local area. We talked about this issue and the lack of innovation in this field, and the need for a space for women. At the time, we were not alone asking this question. Several female Swedish influencers has raised this question. Where do I find new friends as an adult? Blog comments feed were filled with thousands of women asking the same question, and the lack of any solution that are suited for us women. We decided to do something about it and started building a platform. So after 8 years as a police officer, I moved into the tech space. I became a police officer because I wanted to work for a better society and to be a role model for the minorities. And here I have found yet another great opportunity to create positive social impact and to break new boundaries. Isn't it amazing? When you meet the right person, magical things can happen. 6 months later, we launched our first MVP, an app for women and self-identified women to help them find new friends. And we had traction from day one. Today, in our core target group in Stockholm, 6 out of 10 women uses our app. And we have users all over Sweden and in other countries between the age 18 and 85, which proves the need of friendship throughout every stage of life. Currently, our users, they demand our community to be women only. Otherwise, they would not have become a member or stayed as a member. Clearly, this type of platform is beneficial for women. And it was also clear to us that we wanted to prioritize women and what she values. With hindsight, we know it was a good decision. Our member wants to be sure that everyone is there for the same reason, to find new friends, to expand their social circle, to find other women who share their interests. By reducing the uncertainty in this type of platforms, it feels more authentic, welcoming, and open-minded. And that was one of our main goals. We take advantage of the technology and provide a platform that women can update their social lives in a fun, easy, and modern way. So let's take the steering wheel of our social lives and Be more precise in finding like-minded people. So, who is your perfect match? Living in your area, like morning runs as much as you do. Have kids the same age and passion for entrepreneurship. Yeah, that was Ulrika and I, except for the morning runs. Or did you always want to broaden your horizon and meet the person you would never otherwise have approached? Or did you dream of climbing Kilimanjaro, start your own business with someone, find your best gym buddy, travel to the Alps, explore new adventures? Like these women, our members. Even if our idea was partly born out of Swedes' awkwardness to create friendship, there is still a global need for social platforms that enables meetings in real life to prevent loneliness, that also take into account women's needs. So where does this leave us moving forward? To boldly go where no man ever has gone before, as Captain Kirk said at Star Trek: The Next Generation. Just like the need of a safe space online for women, our overall need as women are unique, and we must adapt to these. For this to happen, we need to stray from stereotypes and work towards get more women to the tech industry. The day that tech will be gender equal, we will see tons of gaps being bridged, and women all over the world will have the products and the services they are entitled to. Thank you.